In today's episode, I'm going to be taking a look at 5 bass lines, 5 famous reggae bass lines, and all of them have one thing in common. They're all played by Aston family man Barrett. For many, Family Man is the GOAT of reggae bass. Certainly, his melody, his feel, and his overall approach to reggae, for me, is a gold standard. Family Man is mostly known for his work with the Wailers, alongside his younger brother Carlton Barrett. The bass lines he wrote and played on those Wailers tracks are some of the most famous and recognised bass lines in rock and roll history. And I deliberately use the terms rock and roll as I'm talking about recognisable bass lines beyond any single genre. But Fams didn't only record with the Wailers. In fact, there are many reggae bass lines that you almost definitely know, but like me, quite possibly didn't realise were played by Family Man. Today isn't so much a tutorial, but I'm going to walk you through 5 of these bass lines. 2 of them, I only found out recently, a few years ago, that they were played by Family Man. One very recently, this year in fact. One of them, not really my favourite cup of tea, and one of them, one of my all-time favourite reggae tracks. See if you can guess which one is which. Hi, my name is Otis and welcome back to Perfect Purple Conversations. If you've been here before and you haven't subscribed, you know what to do. But if you're new to the channel, please remember to like, hit that notification bell. And one last thing. As this video today is about bassline, reggae bassline, I strongly recommend you grab your earphones, headphones, or whack your phone into your hi-fi to get the best out of this video. Let's go. First up, we have Return of the Django by the Upsetters. Produced and released by Lee Scratch Perry, featuring the Upsetters band, who at this point included Aston Barrett, his brother Carlton, Alva Reggie Lewis on guitar, and Glenn Adams on piano. Django reached number 5 in the UK national charts in the autumn of 1969. The next Family Man bass line was on a track also recorded in 1969, reaching number 9 in the UK pop charts. Liquidator was in the UK top 10 at the same time as Return of the Django and Jimmy Cliff's Wonderful World, Beautiful People. 3 reggae tunes in the top 10. Liquidator was produced by Harry Johnson and the band featured on the recording was billed as Harry J All-Stars. This band included the Barrett Brothers, but this time with Ranford Williams, better known as Runny Bop, on guitar, and Winston Wright playing the now famous lead organ melody. This song is a classic and has been adopted by Premier League football team Chelsea as their theme song that they sing before the start of every home match. Let's take a listen. Columbus. Recorded at Tough Kong Studios in Jamaica, produced by Winston Rodney and Aston Barrett, and released in 1980 on the Burning Spear album Hail His Imperial Majesty. And in terms of the personnel on this record, it features most of the Wailers. Aston Barrett, Junior Marvin, Earl Wyalindo, Tyrone Downey. Most of the Wailers except Carlton Barrett, who on this album, the drumming is credited to Nelson Miller. And you can certainly hear the different feel the Wailers have without Carly on drums. Over 20 years later, this rhythm was given a new lease of life when Beres Hammond used it on his smash hit, Come Down Farther, in the early 2000s.
He's saying that he's the first one who discovered Jamaica. And I say that. What about the Arawak Indians and the few black men who were down here before him? The Indians coming and Ulanga. Here comes black man and woman and children. And in a jam dunglanya. Holy pa mix up. A holy pa.
Chim Cherry. Production of this rhythm is credited to Scratch Perry, but Aston Barrett said he took the song himself to scratch. It features a drum machine and very sparse instrumentation, one of the early computer dancehall vibes. In fact, the rhythm was used years later by Shinehead on his now famous 1984 cover of Michael Jackson's Billie Jean. Let's take a listen to the Chim Cherry rhythm. Back to 1975 for one of my all-time favourites, another Burning Spear track produced by Lawrence Lindo, also known as Jack Ruby. Featured on the Marcus Garvey album, along with Delroy Hines and Rupert Williting on backing vocals. The musicians used on this record is like a reggae hall of fame, and notably features Leroy Horsemouth delivering his trademark bouncy, expressive drumming style. Check out my video about my favourite drummers, which features Leroy Horsemouth Wallace, in the description below. Featuring one of my favourite bass players, my favourite drummers, for me, absolute reggae joy. I'm talking about Slavery Days. Now, I know I said today wasn't going to be a tutorial, but before we hear a piece of Slavery Days, I just want to point out or bring your attention to something I find really interesting. It's a tiny bit of magic, a bit of family man science. Right, here goes. Right, the song Slavery Days very much sounds like it's in the key of F major, but it's not. Yes, the first chord is F major, but we know that the second chord is E flat major, so therefore we cannot be in the key of F major. The overall song melody utilizes a mode, which I'll go into perhaps in another video, but I can assure you the correct key signature is technically B flat major. Now, B flat major has two flats, B flat and E flat, but that's not even the most interesting part. Although the song is in B flat major, Family Man plays his bass line in F minor. That's right, F minor, which has four flats. So in addition to the B flat and E flat, F minor also includes A flat and D flat. Now, A flat and D flat are not in the key of B flat major. So to get around it, Family Man restricts the notes that he uses in his bass line to just 5 notes. That's the F minor pentatonic scale. So that takes care of any harmonic dissonance caused by the D flat, but we're still left with the A flat. Now the A flat is a prominent note in his bass line, and it creates the minor third in the F minor scale, making the bass line sound darker compared to the overall song melody. In fact, the other melodies that the horns, the pianos, and even the lead vocal use all follow the B flat major scale. But the A flat in the bass line adds a bluesy, jazzy feel to the line, moody and dark, which reflects the song subject more than the B flat major could do on its own. Playing in a different scale to the rest of the song or main melody is something that Family Man often does, and it shouldn't work theoretically, but in terms of sound, it most definitely does work. I call it the Family Man clash. And you can hear other examples of the Family Man clash in songs like One Love and Positive Vibration. In fact, there's a great video by Don Chandler where he breaks down the mechanics of the bass line for Positive Vibration, a bass line that I used to play or hear incorrectly until I came across his video. So it's well worth checking out, and I'll leave a link to the video down below in the description. But that's enough nerdy talk. Let's get back to the music and check out Slavery Days by Burning Spear featuring the bass line of Aston Family Man Barrett. Let me know if any of those songs you didn't realize were Family Man. Also, if there's any Family Man bass lines that aren't Bob Marley songs, put them in the description, let me know what they are. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thanks for tuning in. Remember to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell. Until next time, little more.